Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Contraband Police, shall we? Doing a complete beginner's guide for the game so you can get in and enjoy Contraband Police. What we're going to do in this guide is fire up a brand new game, and we're going to play in Inspector mode and do the tutorial together. There's campaign mode and there's Inspector mode. And I understand the campaign is excellent. What I have experience with is Inspector mode, which is more like a kind of a sandbox RPG feel. And we're going to explain the controls, the UI, tips and tricks, how to play, some things that are not fully explained so that you can enjoy this game however you want to play it. Sound good? All right, great. Let's go ahead and start a new game. So like I said, you can do Inspector mode or campaign mode. I like Inspector mode because you have unlimited time, and this is great for learning the game. And what's cool is you can just build up your border post by buying upgrades and stuff and do the missions that you want to do. So that's what we're going to go with. And it asks you if you want to take part in a 5-day training. And I think the training is actually pretty helpful, so let's do it. It explains a bunch of the basics of the game and gates you along, because as the game gets more complicated, they're going to start throwing more and more things you have to check, and you need the fundamentals down so that you get into a good rhythm and can actually search the cars quickly to get more through your post at a time. As people come to your post, you're going to want to be able to check all the cars each day so you can maximize your profits. All right, let's go ahead and start. Okay, so you begin, and I'm going to be playing using mouse and keyboard. You can adjust the controls pretty well. The gameplay's fine with a controller too, if you're interested. Okay, so this game has lots of dialogue that is, I speak English, so it's not in English, but there are subtitles on the bottom. And you will see down there. Now, whenever you get an objective for your quest, generally they give you a giant arrow telling you where to go. You can sprint with shift, and you don't have any stamina, so just sprint as much as you'd like. And they're asking us to go pick up our duty folder right here. Okay, so this duty folder and flashlight that we got are essential. You can see we're here in our little jail, so this is where we can lock up criminals. This is our warehouse where we can store contraband that we find. This is our computer and our phone. We won't be using these in the tutorial. We'll use those later as we get out of it. And there are some key commands you can press on the bottom right of the screen. I opens your backpacker inventory, F turns on your flashlight, and Tab opens up your duty folder, which is what they want us to do right now. So this is our duty folder, and you're going to be using this a ton. You pull this out to do your inspections. So he first wants us to check out our handbook, which is in the upper right, and you can get to this at any time. Now, currently, a lot of the information is locked in the handbook, because like I said, in the tutorial, they gate this information. But once you get into the full game, you'll be able to use this for all sorts of information on different vehicles, different countries, and clarifications you need about certain mechanics. It's extremely useful. You'll be using this a ton. So he wants us to just kind of flip through this, and here we go. This is all super good information, but I'm going to explain this on the fly. Okay, and you can, by the way, just as a helpful thing, you can flip through the different pages using these arrow buttons in the left corner, but you can also click on the hamburger icon to go back to the table of contents, and then you can just click on, for example, passport number to go to that section. X will close this up. Push tab to close it again. So this, he's telling us to pull this lever to let vehicles in. So the vehicles are going to come from this way. You can see there's a queue forming. And they are going to try to go through here to get into a Karistan. And if we deny them entry, they have to turn around and go back out on the other side. So in the tutorial, do not worry. You have unlimited time to do this. So just work at your own pace. We're going to pull the lever. We press E to pull the lever. That is the main interaction key if you're using mouse and keyboard. All right, so here comes a shifty-looking individual in their tiny car. So this right here is a scale that we don't use right now. We'll use it later. This is the guy's car, and all you have to do is come up to them and just push E to interact. And then you want to click on this button that looks like an ID to just say, give me your documents. He's going to hand them over, and then you have to point at them and then just pick them up. So now once we open the duty folder, you can see we have access to his ID and his passport. And what we're trying to do right now is compare these two documents to see if he has legitimate documentation to enter the country or if we need to kick him to the curb. So the first thing you want to do is check the name to see if the names are spelled the same both on the citizen's ID and on the passport. So you could see their first and last name here, Vaska Giersimov, and that does look to be correct. But you notice how if I move the mouse over the name on the citizen ID, I can click on this, and then I can actually click over here in blue on the name on the passport. Look at the top center of the screen. You'll see an eyeball with a gauge. This is my document comparer, and you basically get an amount of perception each day that you can use to automatically scan something. So if I click on this, you'll see that I just compared them. And that gauge at the top reduced because I used my perception to do that. It says comparing fields and documents decreases your perception level. When you get tired, the comparisons slow down, and when the level drops to 0, only visual checking remains. Go to rest to restore your perception level. Consider buying better quarters to permanently increase the number of perception level. So what can happen up here, we have our little gauge, and honestly, I don't really use perception that often. Sometimes it's extremely helpful, but I try to save it. You can use it more if you like. You have as much as that bar, and it will recover when you go to sleep. Now, if you find something with your document compare, green means it's a match, red means it's a mismatch, which is a problem, yellow means you've matched two incorrect fields, and then you can always actually compare the date of birth with the calendar to check their age, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So now we have a new command, which is our inspection report. It's in the upper right, but you can also click down in the bottom right on this clipboard tab or push the N key to open up the inspection report. And this is where you mark what's wrong when you're comparing the documents. So it says in this report, you'll flag any discrepancies found in the documents, and you need to mark at least one error before you turn a driver away or leave a clean report when you grant entry. To get the highest rating, you'll need to find all existing problems. Over time, the report will expand with new error boxes, and this is true. So once we complete the tutorial, like this whole list will be full, at least when we start the first day on the job. So what they're telling you is, if you're going to deny somebody entry, you have to mark at least one problem of why you're doing that. Sometimes I forget to do that. I'll just be like, nope, you don't get to go in. And then that's a huge no, because if you don't mark a reason on your inspection report for why you're denying entry, you lose $100, which is extremely painful. But conversely, if you find everything wrong with their documents and you mark it accordingly here, then you can earn more money for being more accurate with your inspection. So we know that their names are correct. Let's look at the expiration date. So what you want to do is see, is their citizen ID valid past the current calendar date? So it's April 24th, 1979. So they're valid until August 79. That's good. And their passport expires July 79. That's also fine. The other thing we want to look at, their age is not really important right now. We just want to check their passport number to see if this is correct. So they have 4V7C-G11C. And over here, you match that up, and that does look pretty good. That's all the information we can check so far. Now, you can use your document comparer if you want, but actually, I think that this person checks out. And if I want to just click here and here, I can use some perception to be like match. And then the only other thing actually we have to do is check their photographs. So you could see this is what they look like in their picture. They have a mohawk and they have this handlebar mustache and it's blonde. Push tab to close this up. So he looks like his picture. Yep. And that's all the information I've got. So I'm going to just say, okay, inspection finished, that is all. And I'm going to approve this guy for entry because I didn't see a problem. All right, and there he goes. And now you'll get a rating. So you may have seen, first of all, in the upper left, it'll tell you you did a good job, and it'll give you we got $120, which is like a perfect inspection. But you also see at the top center, it said press F1 for the audit summary. You can push F1 to get this inspection summary, and it says in this panel, you could check what errors in the documents the last driver had. If he was a smuggler, you'll check where exactly he was hiding goods, and it gives you a breakdown of green check mark means yes, and X means you did that wrong. So on this one, on audit number 1, everything is green check mark, and we got a perfect score and $120. So I recommend doing this after you let people in or deny them, and just see how well you're doing. And this will really help you find your blind spots for what you're not detecting, so that you can get better and better at this as you go. Okay, so there was our inspection report. Time for the next car. So we're just going to pull this lever. And here comes a little teeny car with a racing stripe on it. Okay. And he's rolled down this window. All right, so he is telling you that this driver is not from a Karistan. So if I talk to them and I say, can I have your documents? I'm just going to push tab and check this out. So he has an entry permit, which is like, I'm trying to enter the country. I'm not from the country. So his this little document will be a little bit different. And let's start checking things out. So his name is Savahit. First name is okay. Sokolov, that's okay. His passport number, 274Z2RZ9. That's right. It's valid. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. His passport has expired. So push N to bring up your inspection report, and we need to check off passport no good. So this guy is not going to make it because of his passport. So we're just going to also look at his photograph and see if that's right. So he has a hat and a mustache. And you could push Control to crouch if you want to really look at their face. And his picture is also not right because he's got mutton chops here, but his photo is wrong. So I'm going to check photo and, oops, I clicked the wrong thing. It's not passport number, it was expiration date. So his name checked out, his passport number is okay, but the expiration date is no good. And you can also use your document compare. You can click on this and then click on the calendar and it says mismatch, meaning like that's a problem. Now, if you use the document inspector like that and use perception correctly, it will automatically mark the X in your inspection report if you don't have it already marked. So this guy, I'm going to just push control to stand back up. I'm going to talk to him and I'm going to say inspection finished and we deny this guy. He's like, oh man, how did you know that I was using an expired passport for somebody else? So he will turn around, as you can see, and then once he leaves, you'll get the decision, and it was a justified refusal, 120 bucks, push F1, and it's a perfect score. So everything was done correctly right there. And let's pull in somebody else. There's a lot more mechanics to the game. They just start you off nice and slow in the tutorial and introduce them almost one at a time to help not overwhelm you, which I appreciate. Alright, look at this guy. Okay, so take a look. He's got glasses and a beard and a mohawk. So let's just say documents. Alright, give me your documents. Okay, he looks like his picture. Ali Bedros. Alright, yeah, his name is fine. His passport number appears to be okay. It's valid until October. It expires in May. Honestly, this looks fine. His name checks out. Expiration date is okay. Passport number is okay. And photo is okay. And I could just check if I want. And, hey, it matched. All right, and we're just going to say, okay, man, you're fine. I will tell you, normally, most people you do not let in. You should be suspicious of every single person who's trying to come into a Karistan. I tell you, it's like sub 10% how many cars that you will end up letting in. They may not be hardened criminals, but they have violations most of the time. Look at this guy. Something's off. Look at his expression. I don't know about this. Can I have your documents? Alright. Let's see. Alright, the picture is already wrong. He's not getting in this country. His name is spelled wrong. You can see his surname is spelled differently on both documents. His passport number is okay. And he has expired on his passport. So this is a no, no, no. We say denied. Stamp it. Yeah, you know why. You know what you did. Get your truck out of here. You monster. Sweet. Alright. So at the end of each day, you'll hear that bell. It will get dark, and there's no more cars coming in, and the border is closed. So we're going to just run over to our apartment, aka trailer, and take a nice rest. All you got to do is walk inside and interact with this delightful-looking bench/bed, and here we go. Sleep regenerates the level of your perception required for automatic document comparison. Full regeneration takes 8 hours. Upgrade your quarters to increase perception, the maximum level of health, and perception. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Upgrade your quarters to increase the maximum level of health and perception, which is both good. Now you might say health, why do you need health? Oh, we'll get to that. It's not always documents in Contraband Police. Sometimes people fight back. All right, we made some money.
Atajcie Varishu. Meno miano Yuri Petrov. A ja madre komisaria SIU et prewudnić rogaczny dennaja waszego trenirowka. Leno czas, mieli stać inkrasny aktywnia ać obarankowych szmuglistów. Lusko mnie nasze wywiady ili atmaturo, et dostawica wam straszne informacje. Albacznie to, a wajcie lista ać informacji po traczku.
All right. So now they're introducing to us Smugglers and the information board, which is right here. So you could see. So one of your jobs. One of your jobs here at the border is to prevent any contraband from crossing. So it's a good habit every single day when you wake up, before you let anybody through, come over to the info board to check entry regulations. Right now there's none, and smugglers. So it says smuggler 2 and 1. So number 1 has a registration number of 75DX. Registration number is, I believe, their license plate number. And driver age 42. So if you find somebody who's 42, they could be a smuggler. And this plate is also a good clue that they're a smuggler. And we'll talk about what that means. Okay. So I'm going to dance over here and let somebody through. Okay, so they're telling us this guy is suspicious. So first talk to him and just take his documents. And let's see. So why do we think this guy is suspicious? Let's click age. 36. Well, that's not it. He's not 42. Is it this? 5975DX. Yes. So this is why. Because his registration 75DX is suspicious. So that you could check their license plate against that. And you tell the person, okay, buddy, we have a new command. Please step out of the vehicle. So he'll get out. He's like, what? Okay. So we haven't had to use our flashlight really yet, but you could push F, and this is the regular flashlight beam, but to use the UV light to check for the snake mark for contraband, push F again. So you could see, oh, let's open up the back door. Right here on the seat, you could see that snake. It's so funny. This game is hilarious, and the snake tattoo or mark indicates contraband. So now the game is telling you, and this is very important, the other places you can find the snake mark. On the fender, on the tire, on the headliner, on the fuel tank, on the air filter, and on the bumper. So I say, okay. So we need tools to inspect the car. So I'm just going to run over here, and we need to get this knife. I'm just going to pick it up. So you can push the hotkey 1 to bring up the knife or put it away. You can push inventory with I, and you can reassign the knife to a different hotkey 1 through 6 on the numpad if you want, or the number keys if you want. And you just come out here with your knife, and we're just going to slash this. And he's upset. And just keep slashing it. You see the drugs there. Slash it until the health bar is disappeared. Now it'll tell you
Иногда эсти открично ач партио, или о труды и немести, или о посукати эту маскота. Не так миготника тает, а да вы мадре обарстный страт.
So, first of all, in the upper left, when you find contraband, it'll tell you how many you found, and make sure you pick up that many. So it said 3, 1, 2, 3 bags of cocaine. All right? Always look under the seats. Get your flashlight. Look at the headliner. Check the car. Look under the dashboard. Anything else, okay? So they're telling us right now to look, open us up and look inside here, but sometimes your flashlight won't help, because it's just visually, look, right there in the engine block, you could see there's some cocaine. So what you do is you want to look very carefully through the engine like so. Check their tires with the UV, check the bumpers, the fenders, every bit of this for UV. Open the trunk, check it, check everything. Look here, crouch down, look up under the dashboard, look in the glove box. You want to thoroughly check. You can arrest this guy for just one piece of contraband, but you get more money the more contraband you find, because you can sell the contraband to the police to make even more money. So you want to find as much of it as possible. So we're just going to talk to this guy and click the arrest icon. And Mr. Mullet is going to jail. So this is the custody room. Criminals who are awaiting transport to the labor camp. Yes, we take people to a labor camp here. Are held here. Upgrade the prison to increase the maximum number of places. To prevent a possible escape, consider hiring a guard. Remember that by leaving the prisoners in the police car overnight, they may escape. So you don't want to leave them overnight in the car. Right now, just leave this guy here, close the cell. You can see it says 1 out of 3 prisoners. We can hold 3 prisoners in here until we're full. Okay, so they're telling you that you can put your contraband in the warehouse. What you want to do is actually interact with this little clipboard on the warehouse door, and then just move items from your inventory into the warehouse that you don't think you'll need. You can only hold 16 items on you, so you can actually push this arrow to push over all of your stuff. You can double-click items to transfer, or you could control-click, left-click to transfer them. All right, good. We are done. So what he's telling you is once you're done searching a car for contraband and you've arrested somebody, you have to go talk to this dude and tell him to clear the area. So you say clear inspection zone, and he'll get rid of the car for you. Alright, so now we need to go get some bigger tools. We need to get a axe, and it says you can smash stuff with a hammer, but they really mean a crowbar, and we need a pitchfork. So what'll happen is if you need to break into something because you detect contraband there, you'll use one of your tools. And so if I go to inventory, you can see I have tools on 1 through 4, and I have they have different icons, and that icon will appear for what you need to interact. So there's like pitchfork, bludgeoning, chopping and slicing, basically. Okay, let's let the next one through. Let's remember, turn off my light, my UV. And driver age 42 is the only other one we're looking at for smuggler. All right, look at this green van. This guy's shady as all get out. Now, I think the game does this regardless, but sometimes when the music changes and there's like an ominous twinge, I get really suspicious, but I wonder if it just does that randomly and it's not a dead giveaway. So let's first just see the documents. All right, and let's look at this guy's age, 24. So he is not in trouble for that reason. Sideburns? Nope. Picture is wrong. Push N, bring up your inspection report. Photo is off. Bethuan Voida. His name is also wrong. This is only valid until 1978, so that's not good. And his passport number is also wrong. He is wrong on every front. Wow, you don't see somebody who's so bad at this, but he is that guy. So just talk to him and say, yeah, you're done, buddy. Denied. No. I know, he's like, he agrees. No. All right, so I'm just going to bring in the next vehicle. I'm going to put my knife away. You could see how many cars there are left, by the way, in the queue for the day. And push F1, get your report. Everything was perfect, 120 bucks. When you improve your roads, I believe you can get more cars total per day. And the faster you are, you can actually try to work through every car that comes to your border that day. So this guy, let's talk to him. All right, he's got glasses and mutton chops. Give me your documents. I hope everything's all right, too. Okay, his picture actually checks out. He's 32, that's right. Alexander Alexeev. That looks okay. This looks fine. He's not expired here. He's not expired here. He actually might be okay. Now, what you can do is, if you want, just use some, just, you know, double check yourself with a little bit of your perception. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. Now, you can inspect, but if the person is not a potential smuggler, I'm pretty sure you don't have to worry about anything being in their car. So you can just save time for certain cases. Like in this situation, he doesn't have any entry regulation violations. He's not the smuggler, and his documents are good. So I'm just going to say, you're fine. Hey, you too, Alexander. Don't make me regret this. All right. Perfect inspection. Look at this little 4x4. Music's changed. Give me your documents. How did I know? 42 years old. This is our guy. So what I always do, just to save time, once somebody violates one of these, like, appears to be the smuggler, they might not be, but I just immediately say, step out. And I don't even look at the rest of their documents. Because if they're the smuggler and they have contraband, it doesn't matter if they have errors in their documentation. You're going to arrest them. So you don't need to waste your time on that. So you can just look and see if there's any contraband hidden in the vehicle itself. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go around. I'm going to do a sweep. Look at the tires. Look in the engine. See if anything is here. Look at the bumper. Oh my god, look at the tire right there. You see that? Oh, wait a minute. There's some cigarettes. We found that. So, at this point, he's trying to bribe us. So this is up to you. You can take his money and accept the bribe, or you can just wait until he puts the bribe away and say no thanks. And then say you're under arrest. Now, I like to just arrest them right away once I find contraband, and then lock the door. And then I'm going to run back over here. I'm going to get the rest of the contraband. Make sure you get everything before you have your officer clear the area. So I'm going to crouch, And remember, there's the snake mark there. Look at this. His tire is filled with cigarettes. All right, cigarettes times 3. Pick them all up. Let's see if there's anything else here. This tire is okay. The bumper is okay. That tire is okay. All right. Oh, look at that. See? Under the dash. I'm going to open this. Crouch down. There's some cigarettes. Look in the back. Under the seats. And get inside. Check the glove box. Okay, I think that's it. I don't see anything else on this. All right, I'm good. So then now you talk to this dude and you say, clear the zone. Boom. We got him. We caught the criminal. And you could push F1. And we found all 3 contraband. I love to do this after contraband vehicles because at least when I was first playing the game, I missed a lot of contraband because I didn't know all the little hiding spots. And you can, by learning about them through the audit report, you'll know where to check more thoroughly to make sure you get all the contraband. So I'm going to run over here, put my knife away, and I'm just going to deposit all my cigarette contraband into the storage. You could see the room's filling up with contraband. Close the door. Don't tempt these guys. And now it's time to end the day. This is worth noting. The game saves at when you rest, kind of like Stardew Valley or whatever. So don't leave in the middle of a day because there might be problems when you try to resume. And you might have to start the day over, which is the checkpoint. So I'm going to rest. And then now, we rest. We get some of our perception back. We get a report on our progress. By the way, these salaries and property maintenance, these are just fees that you have to pay for your facilities and your staff. There's nothing you can do about that. So don't worry about that. And now we have $770. Rolling. All right, fantastic. So it's a new day. Training.
Prevozku zakotníkov na robotný wagra až dostaviť sa prevozku kontrabandu na policejku bázu. Povíciť sa šuflícka u Vlada a dokúpiť instrumentov, nedým je za vašej slúži.
All right, so today... Oh boy. The naughty boy is so funny. So today what they want us to do is actually leave the post and drive around. If you push M, you'll open up your map, and you can see all the different places that you can go. So here we are in the upper left, and for example, the labor camp is down here in the bottom left, and this is the police base in the upper right, where you can sell your contraband. This is the Vlad's tools, where they want us to go buy tools. And tools are like the tools you use for contraband, knives, axes, clubs, pitchforks, that kind of stuff, but also guns, which are and ammo, which are incredibly important for defending yourself and your border patrol against bad guys. And there's other locations that we can explore, but for now, I think this is a great first episode of our guide series teaching you how to get into and enjoy Contraband Police. This is going to be a series because there's a lot of elements that we need to discuss so that all the fundamentals are explained, but I'm hoping that you're enjoying this and finding it to be useful and fun. If you have any questions about the game, please post those in the comments below. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'll check you in the next episode. Take care.